Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we're going to talk about portraits in art. We have self-portraits and then we have portraits where the artist painted or drew a picture of someone else. And we're going to look at a few of some of art's most famous portraits for a minute, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. First up is a self-portrait by Frida Kahlo. She is a Mexican painter who only lived to be 47 years old, and she is best known for her brilliantly colored self-portraits, which means that she drew herself. Next up, we have The Girl with a Pearl Earring by a Dutch artist, Vermeer. This was painted in the 1600s, so a long time ago, and it's really quite interesting because the woman in the painting is very mysterious. No one knows who she is. I bet almost all of you know this portrait. This is the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. This is probably art history's most famous portrait. This is one of my favorites. This is called A Portrait of Adele Bloch-Bauer by Gustav Klimt. It was painted in 1907, and I love the gold and just all the pattern and how different it is. It's actually a commissioned portrait of a wealthy Jewish woman, and it was stolen by the Nazis during World War II, and so I think that it has a really unique story with it. Then it was given to an art gallery and finally given back to Adele's family and was sold for $135 million in the year of 2006. Last but not least is a very colorful portrait called Woman with a Hat by Henri Matisse, and this was painted in 1905, and the woman in the picture is actually Matisse's wife, and she owned a hat shop, so it was very fitting that he drew her with a really colorful hat. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to create a portrait on this index card. It's a pretty large index card. It's blank on both sides. So your name will be on one side. You're going to create a portrait on the other. I'm going to show you how to get started, but also there are a lot of guidelines here that I have in your caddy. When class is over, you're going to place these back in your caddy. So these are just some guidelines for the face, where things are placed. Your eyes are sort of in the center of your head. So if I put my hands at my chin in the top of my head, you should notice that my eyes are in the middle. Your eyes are not up here. A lot of kids want to draw the eyes at the very top of the forehead. So don't forget, you've got your forehead, and then you also have hair that you can see. So take a look at these. There are how to draw a nose, how to draw lips, and just some facial proportions. So you're going to look at these when you draw. Let's get started. We're going to be creating a monochromatic portrait. You're going to figure out where you want the bottom half of your face. So kind of draw a U shape with your finger first and then with your pencil. And then you will add a neck and shoulders. Girls' necks should be probably thinner than boys' necks. And you can draw the ears at the top of your U. We have not drawn the top of the head yet, so your ears will go at the top of your U. Then you'll begin to add your eyes also at the top of your U. Oops, I made that a bit small, so I'm going to erase it. My eye needs to be a little bit bigger because when I fit two of them on there, there shouldn't be that much space between them. Okay, then you'll draw the iris and the pupil. The iris is the colored part, and the pupil is the little black dot. You can draw some eyebrows, and then you can look at your paper and draw a nose and a mouth. You can look at the guideline paper that I gave you and really study those and figure out what kind of mouth you want to draw. You might want to draw your mouth open, smiling real big. You might want to draw your mouth closed. You might want to be frowning. You might want to be smiling. Figure out what kind of mood you're in today and draw your mouth that way. Then you're going to draw the top of your head, and be sure that that makes your eyes sort of in the middle. So I probably should have drawn my head a little bit taller. Then you're going to draw your hairline. So you're going to cover up a lot of your forehead with your hair. If you're a boy, your hair goes down to your ears. And if you're a girl, your hair will go down to your ears and then past your ears. You might want to make it look like you have a ponytail. So you could leave the long hair out and just draw a ponytail if you want. If you also want to add the hair that is coming from your part down to your shoulders or to your ears. So draw that hair. You may draw eyelashes. Now we're just adding details. Your drawing should look somewhat like a face. I'm just trying to make my face a little bit thinner. It was kind of wide, I thought, for me. Now my neck is kind of wide, so you can make a few little changes here and there, but try not to make too many changes. When you have your face like you like it, you're going to pick a monochromatic color scheme. So you are going to pick out all different shades of one color. I chose purple, and you can get those out to use those next. Monochromatic means one color. Mono means one. So if you choose a lot of different colors like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, that is not monochromatic. That is polychromatic. So we are doing mono, meaning one color. You are going to use all the different materials to add detail. You're going to outline your pencil lines. You're going to color in things. You can use crayons, colored pencils, markers. But remember, you're just using different shades of one color. So I'm using purples, like bluish purples and pinkish purples, just all the same shades of one color. I'm also coloring things in. So I'm trying to think about what places are dark and what places are light. So if you look at the person next to you, you might see that their hair looks a lot darker than their face. So I did that. I colored in my hair a lot darker than I'm coloring in my face. So think about those things. I also want you to add a pattern in the background. I drew my picture pretty large. There wasn't a lot of space for a pattern, so I just did some polka dots. But if your picture or your face is smaller, then you'll have more room to draw a background and a design. Keep your design and your pattern in the background also monochromatic. When the alarm goes off, be sure you put your basket back the way you found it. Markers and colored pencils in one bag, crayons in the other. Thank you.